shit show. Sunday. Hey everybody, how you doing? Dave here. Sunday, October 3rd, 2021. I'm heading to Ames, Iowa. Yesterday, Saturday, was Iowa State University's first home football game in conference play. We played Kansas. We spanked the living shit out of them, 59-7. And as I mentioned in my Top Dasher video, today, Sunday, after Saturday game day, there is peak pay during the breakfast run that I've never seen before here. I suspect that they've learned over the last couple weeks that with the great influx of college students that are doing the Doordash thing, maybe most of them are hungover staying in late Saturday morning, and there's a need for dashers. So I have a schedule set from about 8 to 11. The actual peak pay is 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. and I head on over not knowing what to expect. I roll into Ames about 8:15, head to my favorite initial starting spot, which is Panera Bread, and I sit there for about 5 or 10 minutes before I get my first order. You know, the first couple orders, the first part of the day, very calm. God, it was great driving around in town with no traffic on the roads. It was a breeze. I thought, man, this is gonna be a cakewalk. Made a couple deliveries. The pay was okay, but my mileage was pretty high. I was just a little under my buck per mile originally after the first two orders. And then around 9 or 9:30, the shit hit the fan. Hotel motels don't have restaurants anymore. Oh, they have workout rooms, but they don't have restaurants anymore. That all changed about 10 or 15 years ago. Used to be every hotel motel had a restaurant. Now it's up to the fast food joints and the Perkins and the Village Inns and yada yada to take care of those hungry people as they all roll out from their hotel rooms hungover after a good football Saturday. So as we see here, my first pickup was at Perkins, and delivering some big breakfasts out to a guy in West Ames. I figured I was going to be at Perkins quite a bit, and McDonald's. Chick-fil-A is not open on Sundays, and they're usually got a pretty good breakfast crowd. And it was too early for the lunch businesses to be opened up yet in Campus Town. So I make that delivery, then head back to East Ames. The heat map was just very slightly pink, and there were very few hot spots, mainly just the one or two over on South Duff there by the Perkins and the Panera Bread. And as you can see here, I roll straight through town across Lincoln Way, catching all the greens. Look at this traffic. It's non-existent. Thousands of kids trying to get across the crosswalk. They're not there. Oh man, this is a breeze. So I drive back across town, get not one offer, get back to my favorite spot at Panera Bread, and I had just barely parked, and boom, I get a pickup from Panera Bread. And as you see, I walk into the restaurant at 8:47. 10 minutes later, 8:57, I walk out with the order. That should have been my first clue. That background noise was new kitten Jackie attacking the grocery paper bag. Usually during the week, even during the heaviest crush times, when I walk into Panera Bread, the order is already there. I walk in, say who I'm here for, they give it to me, and out the door I go in about a minute. Not today. But I think to myself, I'm seeing a whole new weekend crew versus the usual Monday through Friday crew here at Panera. You know, they'll get their swing in the groove, and I'm already counting my chickens with the first two orders that I had with this additional $1.50 peak pay. So I run this Panera Bread order out to a new doggy daycare center that we have on the very, very east end of town, and then get an immediate offer for Cabin Coffee that's also on the east side there, and that's usually a pretty good run, you know. Pretty good pay and pretty good tips for these people's $7 to $10 cups of coffee that they're having delivered. Too funny that Cabin Coffee delivery was to the local Taco John's, to one of the shift supervisors there. I have seen this quite frequently. I've delivered Panera Bread to Casey's. I've delivered tacos to a pizza place, and a pizza place to a taco place. It's kind of interesting how that works. So I drop off the coffee at Taco John's and get another immediate offer to return back to Perkins to deliver somebody's breakfast. Remember, that was my first pickup this morning about an hour ago. I roll into the parking lot. This is what I see. 25 to 40 people standing around outside waiting to get in. Another 10 or 15 in the minuscule lobby waiting area inside. I'm thinking to myself, my God, I'm gonna be here for a fucking hour. But as we see, they had it ready for me and I was able to get out pretty quickly. The actual seating in the restaurant, which probably seats about 150, was only half full, but they're so severely understaffed. They're only seating the number of people that the waitresses can adequately handle, which actually I think is the smart thing to do instead of having people sitting in a booth for an hour waiting for their waitress to even show up the first time. It's a nice morning, make them stand outside. I get that. I think that worked pretty good. As I walked over to the cubby to find my order, I made eye contact with one of the shift supervisors and I said, what the hell's going on with my eyes? And she said the same thing with me. So I get out and made this delivery all the way across to West Ames, and I actually told the guy, it was a face-to-face delivery, I said, hey, the next time if you order Perkins, you did it at perfectly the right time. Don't wait any longer than about 8:30 to place your order after a football game day. And he goes, okay, good to know. So now I'm thinking, oh my God, do I go back to Perkins if I get another offer? I know I'm going to get another offer, you know what I mean? But do I decline it? Do I go back? God, a quandary. About this time, I get several Hy-Vee grocery store shop and deliver with the red card, 4 total for the morning, and I declined them all, and I thought immediately, oh my, the acceptance rate is going to take a hit, you know, because I'm thinking to myself, I don't want to go back to Perkins again. It's going to be an hour-long freaking wait. This is a nightmare, and little did I know how much of a nightmare it was going to become. So I get back all the way to East Ames without another restaurant food delivery, and I head back to Panera Bread. We can see their parking lot much fuller than it was prior. Then I get an order from McDonald's, and as I pull into McDonald's parking lot, it's almost empty, and I'm thinking, okay, Mickey D's is where I'm going to be hanging today. I'm only inside for a couple minutes and get my order and make that delivery. There appears to be a little break in the action, so I stop off at a Casey's and offload some coffee. Then I get an order from a Mexican restaurant for some breakfast burritos, and I'm there for quite a while. We can watch the time lapse of the traffic. Traffic is picking up big time. So the breakfast burritos were only delivered about a mile down the road, and then as I head back into town, I get an offer for a pickup from Village Inn. Now, the Village Inn in our town is not nearly as popular as Perkins, and I think to myself, okay, maybe this will be a breeze, an easy pickup. Nope, I pull into the parking lot, this is what I see. About the same thing as Perkins, about 25 people standing around outside waiting to get called in. I go in. I talk to the hostess. I say, hey, I'm here to pick up an order for Nicholas. The look on her face, her body language, she was harried, she was beat, she was crushed. She had no expectation that this was going to be the work day when she got there. She says, we haven't even started it, and I don't know when we're going to be able to get to it. Oh, shit. So I come outside and I try to call the customer. It goes to voicemail. I send a text. Then I get another order from that other Mexican restaurant, so I decide to go over there and pick that one up. I've already said that I'm at Village Inn, and usually you can unassign a offer, a delivery, but for some reason or other, I guess maybe once you say that you're at the store for pickup, even though you haven't confirmed the pickup, you cannot unassign. So I attempt to call this guy again, and I finally get a hold of him and explain what's going on, and he's totally understanding. And he then cancels the order, which, by the way, actually gets me half the price paid out for the delivery. So I make this breakfast burrito run delivery, and I'm thinking to myself, my God, do I just cut my losses here? As you can see on the dash cam clock, it's about 10:53, and the peak pay stops at 10:59. I then get an offer from the McDonald's, and I think, okay, it wasn't too bad the last time, let's head back there. This is what I see. I can't even find a parking spot. 10 to 15 cars lined up in the dual drive-through lanes. Oh my God, I'm gonna be here for a fucking hour. It's 11:01 when I get to McDonald's, but I accepted the order prior to 10:59, so this will be my last peak pay run. And I think I'm cashing out. As you see, it only took a couple minutes for me to get the order and get back out to Speedwagon. I was chatting with a lady inside there. They were about 4 deep at the counter. You know, you place your order on a kiosk now, and then they call out your number. She goes, "Man, this is a complete shit show." And I said, "You should be at Perkins or Village Inn." So anyway, I make that delivery. It's my last peak pay delivery. Now I'm going to cash it in and head back home. And then all of a sudden I get another order from Cabin Coffee. Remember, even though your scheduled time has ended, you're still live, especially if there's an order for you in the area that you're in. And I get the order for Cabin Coffee. I see it's 7.8 miles away. I think to myself, Gilbert, Iowa, just north of Ames. I'm not going to make that run. Then, upon closer inspection of the map, it's going to Nevada, 8 miles to the east of Ames, where I live. I'm gonna get paid to drive home. So as I noted before, if you use the floating widget, you can see the physical address of the customer before you've even accepted the order. You know, I didn't do that. So I get the Cabin Coffee there, I click on I'm at the store, and then the customer's name and physical address pops up. The delivery is to my next door neighbor. How fucking sweet is that? He's a good young guy that has a debilitating disease. He's in a wheelchair, and he does do a lot of Doordash. I've seen some of these guys roll into town to his address quite frequently, and this time I get the job. I'm not only getting paid to drive to my town, I'm getting paid to drive to my residence. So let's look at the numbers. What do they have to tell us? They tell us this was actually a damn good day. I dashed for 3.5 hours, had 8 orders, actually had 9, but the one was canceled, for a total of $73.50, which comes out to $20.36 an hour. Holy smokes, you cannot argue with that. And of course, this was a peak payday at $1.50 peak pay. I started the day with 399 delivery customers, and now I'm sitting at 407. Note that the price per gallon today at $2.89 has dropped dramatically. That's because I renewed my Sam's Club card. I'm getting gas anywhere from 25 to 40 cents less than what it is here in town. That's going to help a lot. Dollars per mile looks fantastic, and my per hourly pay after all of my fuel costs at $17.10 an hour, absolutely fantastic. It's amazing what $1.50 extra per job can do, eh? But the average job minutes down here at 0.44, we can see that the pickup time and delivery time really took a big hit. I've been down around 0.33 for regular Monday through Friday days. As I said before, I declined about 4 Hy-Vee grocery shop and deliver red card deliveries. And I also declined about 3 or 4 deliveries that were just hammering me at the time when I was having that clusterfuck at the Village Inn. They were stacking and packing me with extra orders, and some of them pickups were already past time, so I just declined all those. So I had, 8 jobs. I declined about 8, but surprisingly, I only dropped 1% on my acceptance rate from 85 down to 84. And as of right now, I'm still at a 98% on-time delivery, so maybe DoorDash was seeing the clusterfuck going on and was cutting me some slack. I don't know how that works specifically. So, what's the big takeaway? I'm going to keep my eye on that peak pay for the Sunday after a Saturday game day breakfast crowd. Next week, Iowa State has a bye week, so there is no football game. And if I run it again and the numbers are telling me I need to, I have to, it's good pay. I just go in knowing that it's going to be somewhat of a clusterfuck. I have to have some good acceptance numbers because I'm going to be declining so many, and just understand that it's going to take some time to get these deliveries made. But the $1.50 extra peak pay makes it worth the while. And get over a little bit earlier than I did today. Today was 8:15. Get over there about 7 just as the sun rises, and get some of them early orders in there when it's nice and calm, and get the benefit of that $1.50 peak pay. All right, guys and gals, that's all I've got for you today. Thanks for coming along for the ride, and hope to see you next time.